Hey guys, today we're going to do something really simple. We're talking about area and multiplication, and these two are very much related. So I'm going to give you an area problem that involves some heavy-duty multiplication. So let's see, let's get a nice color here. We're going to take the state of Arizona and we're going to find its area. And in order to do that, I need to know the dimensions. I need to know the length and the width. The state of Arizona is kind of like a rectangle, but it's not exactly. So we're going to do some estimating here. In my research, the the height from here all the way down to here, they say is about 400 miles. But I'm gonna because of this little notch here, if we were to draw the real rectangle, there would be a corner cut out of it. I'm gonna cut mine off right about there. So I'm gonna say it's 387 miles. Okay, and then it's even harder, you can see, to figure out the width. Um, so let's just kind of give an estimated width of 310. I think that's actually the widest width, so it might be from here to here, or from here to here. It's the widest width. Okay, now the area is just the length times the width. So we're just going to multiply 310 miles by 387 miles. We can write that down. 310 times 387. Now, you know that the most convenient way to do this is to write the two one on top of the other. So I'm going to write the bigger one on top, 387 times 310. But we could write that side by side like this, or we could write it in parentheses, 310 parentheses 387 parentheses. All of those are equivalent ways of showing that we're multiplying something. Okay, so we need that little X sign there, that time sign. Keep in mind that we're only going to use that time sign for a little while longer. Once we get into algebra, we're going to toss that away and stop using it, but for now, it's okay. Okay, so let's go through the steps to just real quick this example. I know you already know this, and this is easy stuff, so we'll do this fast. 0 times 7 is 0. 0 times 8 is 0. 0 times 3 is 0. Well, that was easy. And then for the next number, the tens digit, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to multiply everything by 1. But we have to shift it over because it's really not multiplying by 1, it's multiplying by 10. So we're going to add a 0 to make it so that it's like we're multiplying by 10. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, and now we're going to the hundreds digit, the 310. We're going to multiply all these numbers by 300, and so we're going to shift over 2 spaces. So I add 2 zeros to my next line. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 8 is 24, plus I add the 2 that I carried, so 26. And then I carry the other 2. 3 times 3 is 9, plus the 2 that I carried is 11. So write down 11. And now you have to be really careful here. We've got to have nice straight columns so that I can keep all my numbers lined up. And that's the biggest mistake we tend to make, is we don't have nice straight columns, and so we get a little bit sloppy here. The other mistake that we tend to make is carrying our numbers. So when I'm doing this, and when you're doing this, I want you to rewrite the problem unless you have lots of space on the worksheet. If you're using the workbook and you're just doing it in the workbook, that's fine with me, but make sure that you have lots of space to really clearly write your numbers so you can see the 3 mistakes are not having clear columns, not carrying your numbers clearly and keeping track of those, and then the third mistake is just writing the numbers so sloppily or so cramped in such a small little numbers, or maybe a little bit sloppy, that you fool yourself and you can't see what you wrote. So just be mindful of those things. 0 plus 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 7 plus 0 is 7. 0 plus 8 plus 1 is 9. 3 plus 6 is 9. And 1, and then 1. And so this is 119,970 square miles. Now, turns out, I think that's a little bit of an overestimate. The actual area of Arizona is a little bit smaller because we went with kind of the largest dimensions, not exactly the largest dimensions, but there's some things that we should have cut out here. There's some areas that we counted because we were treating Arizona as if it were a rectangle when there's really some areas that needed to be cut out. So that's an overestimate, but that's okay. You get the idea. And the idea for multiplication is that multiplication is really useful for finding things like area, but it can also be used to find things, and just the classic example is you have a classroom with a bunch of desks in it, and let's just say that there's 5 desks per row, and there's 3 rows. So 3 rows, 5 desks each. How many desks are there? That's 3 by 5, which is 15. So 15 total desks. So it's a really useful operation, and we're going to do some word problems, and we'll do some kind of big old hairy multiplications with multiple digits. So you're going to do a great job. Thank you very much for watching, and have fun with this one. It's an easy one.